All right, 1212. This is Jarrell Flint, author of the book Hold Back: The Consumer's Playbook for Buying a Car. That's available on Amazon, iTunes, and Barnes and Noble right now as we speak. Wanted to make a brief video about lease specials. A lot of people are confused about how those work. I touch on that briefly in the book, but I wanted to make a video about it because sometimes you just got to see how it works. So get your pen and your paper together. I'm going to show you the exact math that you have to do. I'm going to show you the exact things that you need to look for, that you need to understand, so you know when you go to the dealership exactly, well, a roundabout way, what your payment is going to be. Because a lot of times the lease specialists say $399, lease a Mercedes Benz for $399 or $499, or BMW or whatever it is that you're looking at. Luxury, typically. I mean, it's like that for all of them, but luxury is my experience with leases, and it's never what it is. It doesn't matter what kind of car it is. It'll never be what the advertised special is unless you get the exact car tailored to the special, put the exact money down tailored to that special, which it just doesn't work like that. Let's just be honest, because a lot of times on those leases it's on base cars. We'll get into all of that. Now, I'm doing this to help you save time, because there's no point in finding the car you want, thinking you're going to pay $399, going there, test driving it, getting the numbers in front of you, and it's $699 or $599 or whatever it is. That's not what you went in there for. So I'm going to show you exactly what you need. Now, get your pens and paper out. First site you're going to need is an auto lease calculator. That's what you need. I like bank rate. That's what I like to use. You put your MSRP in this box here. Final negotiated price, that's the price that you get it down to after discounts and rebates and dealer cash and anything that they have. Any down payment that you're putting down, sales tax, length of the lease, new car rate. On a lease, it's called a money factor. It is not called an interest rate. All right. It's called a money factor, and it's broken down in decimal points that go up to like 100th of a point, maybe even 1,000th. But I'll show you that in a second. Car value at the end of the loan, that is what's called the residual value. We'll touch on that here briefly. All right. Let me make sure I got access to a calculator. All right, I do, because I want y'all to be able to see this math. All right, so we're just going to do a Google of an auto lease, whatever. Auto lease specials. All right, so brings up a list. All right, and let's just say you're kind of in the beginning stages, or maybe you do like something on this list that you see. We're going to stay luxury, just because I mean luxury cars are better to lease. You probably want to buy something like that right there, the Toyota Camry. But let's just say for this example, you want to ride big boy Audi A. Well, it's not big boy, but you want to ride Audi A6. I think it's a bigger body style than that one, but you want to ride Audi A6, right? You're in the South. I'm in the South. 400 a month, 36 months. 42.90 due at signing. You're thinking about buying a Honda or a Toyota, your payment will be around 400 a month. But you're thinking, well, maybe I can lease. I don't drive a lot. Work is close. I don't really go a lot of places. And 400 a month for an Audi, that's a step up, right? So what we're gonna do next? I'm in Nashville. Let's do Audi Nashville. See if they had the same special. Audi Nashville. All right. Let's go to their specials. We're gonna go lease special right here. All right. Put a star next to this. This is something you want to always remember when you're looking at leases and trying to figure out how to do it. We're going to look at the 2017 A6 sedan, because that is what this is for, a 2017. Now, a little bit of a crumb for you. You can get a better deal if you lease the year prior model. So you can more than likely get a much better deal on a 2016 that's new, because it's still there. It's already taken a hit in terms of what it's worth, just because I mean, if you can buy a 2017 for $4,000 off of MSRP, surely you can get a 2016, right? Surely you can get a 2016 for more off of MSRP. That's going to be the logic. So you can usually get a better deal on the previous model, especially on a lease. But that's just a little something to consider. But so for this special, okay, matches up 400 a month, 36 months, 42.90 due at signing. Notice here, excludes tax, title, license, registration, options, and fees. That's everything that's not included in the monthly payment. So you already know, or you should already know, if you're budgeting for 400 a month and you're putting down 4,300, you can forget 400 a month. It's not happening. Now, you want to always look at the disclaimer and write these down. These are things that you want to look at and you want to list to determine your monthly payment. Monthly lease payment based on MSRP. You need to know what the MSRP, this lease special, is based on. All right. Again, excludes tax, title, options, all that, dealer fees. It excludes all of that. All right. Amount due at signing includes your first month's payment, capitalized cost reduction, and acquisition fee of $8.95. So in $42.90 that you're putting down, all of that is in there. First month's payment, acquisition fee, and the capitalized cost reduction. All right. Monthly payments total $14,399. So that would be 36 payments, or really 35, because you're making one payment in the $42.90. All right. That's not necessarily as important, but just something to make note of. Okay. Of course, it says here your payment will vary based on dealer contribution and final negotiated price. Okay, we know that. All right. Now, make a star by this. Purchase option at end of lease is $25,246. Now, of course, this excludes taxes, title, and government fees, but that is your residual value. That is what the car will be worth at the end of 36 months. Write that down. Always make note of that. Now, if you can't find that information, because there are some dealerships that don't always list these disclaimers, this fine print, you want to call them and ask them that. They'll give you that. Okay, that's information that you need to have. So let's go to our calculator. MSRP is what? 48.50. Sorry, 48,550. Take that comma out. We don't know what the final negotiated price is going to be. However, we do know what our down payment is, $42.90. So let's put that in there. Oops. $42.90. Now, the final negotiated price is actually going to be the MSRP minus the down payment, because, of course, you're going to be putting that down. Now, if there's any other discounts, you'll take that from the MSRP also. But for right now, we're going to take $48,550 minus $42.90. That's going to give us $44,260. 44, 260. We don't know the tax yet. We know it's 36 months. We don't know the interest. We know the value at the end of the loan is what? 25,246. Let's put that in there. Now this should come pretty close to 400 a month. Let's calculate it. 409. Yeah, I mean, we're right there. We're right there. Now notice, let me copy this just so I can just put it right back in. Now notice, if you left this 48,550, let's calculate them up. Payment is way off. So, you know, the math is always going to be the same, right? So let's put that back where it was. So we're off by about $9, but, you know, whatever. Give or take, it's $400 a month. I mean, you're probably not going to let the car. If they told you $409 right now for that car, you're probably taking it for $409. So let's, you know, we'll just exclude that. I'm sorry, excuse that. All right, so now we got to find the car we want. So I'll leave that up just so we can come back to it if we need to. So rather than look at Nashville's inventory, I'm actually looking at Atlanta, because Atlanta is the next closest biggest city to me. What? Why is Nashville popping up? Sorry about that. Audi, Atlanta. And I would just do this just to compare and also get some competitive pricing because Atlanta is going to give a bigger discount to entice you to drive down there to do business. That way you can take, the offer from Atlanta to your Nashville, your local dealership. Just another little crumb. I want to make note of that. I also talk about that in Holdback. So, feel free if you need to do that. So let's go to their inventory. Explore inventory. We're looking at 2017 A6s. They have 39 in stock. All right. Now let's just say, you want navigation. Got to have that, right? So that's going to take it down. We got 10. Now we got 10 options. Now our MSRP should be what? 48,550. Well, you can already see right now it's nothing for 48. And that's basically telling you, if you do the math, that the navigation package is going to run you almost 3 to 4 grand more just on general principle. So let's not even worry about the price per se. Let's go on what you like. And let's say, okay, both of these are the same price, so they have the same options. Black, gray. The interior is called Flint Gray. I like that. I like that name. So let's go with this one. 55, 235. Right, MSRP. So now let's plug that in. And actually, what I'm gonna do, because I want to show you with the tax in it also, so you can kind of get an idea. So I'm gonna leave the original one up. So this is the lease special right here. This one is the car you want. So MSRP 55,235. 55,235. Let's just leave that blank for right now. My down payment, we know we're putting down 42.90. We're gonna just try to tailor it to the lease special as best we can. We don't know tax. Now, even if you go buy this car in Georgia, your tax is still gonna be based on where you live. In this case, it's gonna be Tennessee. All right. And now I'm kind of glad this came up. So now that the MSRP is different, the residual value will be a little bit different also, because the car has more options, has more equipment. So more than likely, it's going to be worth more than this number here. But just for the sake of this example, we're going to keep the number the same. But keep in mind, if the MSRP changes and the equipment changes, the residual value is going to change 99% of the time. Always keep that in mind. But again, just for this example, we're going to assume the residuals stay the same, but I can almost guarantee you that is not going to be the case. So we're going to take 52,235 minus 42.90. 50,945. 50,945. Now, if we calculate this, we're at 594.69 before any taxes. And on the actual lease car, if you can find it anywhere, you're at 409. Now, let's go ahead and put the real true numbers in there. Let's put the tax in there. State of Tennessee, I believe it is 7.25 on cars. Of course, you want to find out based on your state versus based on your county. So just by putting the tax in there, let's see what happens. We were at 409. Now we go up to 438.65. Yeah, not a big deal, not a big jump. Now on leases, again, it's not interest rates, it's money factors, and typically you're not going to get anything that's 0.9 or 1.9. You might get in those low 2%, but it's all based on the bank. It's all based on the markup that the finance manager does. So again, this is going to be a rough estimate, but assuming you have excellent credit, let's just put 5% in there. All right. Let's see what it does to the payment. takes you up to 584.37 from a $400 lease special. So already we're talking about a difference of $184.37, right? Now, again, when you're talking about money factors, you have to take the whole number and you divide it by 2400. That's how you calculate money factors, because that's what it's going to display on your paper. So paperwork. So if it's a 5% interest rate, quote unquote, divide that by 2400. This is what your money factor would be right here, 0.00208, right? Now, if you see it on your paperwork, you just multiply it by 2400. All right, it's going to get you right back to 4.99, whatever. So that's another thing you might want to write that down. Money factor, interest rate. On a lease, it's always money factor. You either multiply by 2400 if it's the decimal number, or you divide by 2400 if it's the whole number. All right, let's go to the car that we liked, right? 55,235. Left the down payment the same. Let's put the 5% in there. Okay, we're at 624. I'm sorry, I'm 7.25 for my tax. It's gonna make it jump a little bit. 637.81. Let's put our 5% in there, just give or take. So now we're talking about 800. We're talking about $800. You went in there on a $400 per month lease special. Now again, this doesn't include the dealer fee. This doesn't include the registration and license fees and all of that. Some of the other fees. Now those should be less than maybe another $2,000 or so. I mean, depending on how much the dealer fee is, that should be the bulk of it. But we don't even have all the fees in here. You understand? Now let's take the car value at the end of the loan for the car that we liked. Let's just take 55,235. 55,235. And let's just assume after 3 years it's worth 50%. So divided by 2. So it'd be worth 27,617.50. 27,617.50. So notice that's a little bit higher residual. And again, the lease, the company, the manufacturer determines what the residuals are. They have complicated algorithms and math that they do to determine what the residual is, and the residual never changes, and it's typically spot on. So it's always going to be the same, right? They're going to be able to come up with it, and it doesn't change. So if you lease this car, and in 36 months you bring it back and it's worth 30,000, well, that's to your advantage. But if you've been in an accident or rear-ended or anything, and it's only worth 20 when you bring it in, you can still buy it for 27,617. If it's worth 30, you can bring it back for 27,617. The residual is always locked in. That's the price you can buy it for when it's locked in. All right, so let's just see what that does to the payment. Now notice that brought our payment down a little bit. Brought us down to 733. So again, it's all, you have to have all of this information to kind of pinpoint exactly what you're going to be looking at. Now, we haven't factored in any additional discounts, right? Let's just say, for the sake of this example, you get another $3,000 off the price. That's going to take it down to 47,945. 47,945. Keep your down payment the same. We'll keep everything else the same with all our taxes and our interest. 637.03. Not bad. You went in on a $400 a month payment, but this is the car you want. So this is how you're going to have to play with it to manipulate the numbers. Now again, if your credit is shoddy, let me just show you what happens when you double the interest rate. Everything the same. You're getting $3,000 off the car plus your $4,290 that you're putting down. Let's calculate that up. I mean, we're right back to $800, and this could be with a 650 or 660 credit score. So I mean, if you're under 600, I mean, the interest rate or the money factor is going to be crazy on a lease. And you don't want to put a lot of money down on a lease. I would say the max is about 5 grand, because you got it tied up into something where, if you choose not to buy it at the end, you pretty much walked away from a nice little bit of cash. So I would put the cap at about 5 grand on a lease. But again, it's your preference. I just wouldn't, if you're trading a car and it's worth 15, do not trade that car in for no lease. Do not do that. Okay, I've seen several people do that, and they weren't happy when they realized kind of how it worked at the end. So I hope this video has been helpful. I believe that we covered everything that I wanted to cover in there for you. So again, for this example, let's just say they take off the lease special car. Let's say they took another, we'll say 2 grand. It's a base car. It's not going to be a lot of markup in it. So let's do 46, 550. Let's calculate that up. Oh, let me take it down 2 grand. 42. Hold up, sorry. Undo. 42,260. 42,260. See what we got. Still at 520.32. So that's your 4,200 put down and 2 grand off of the MSRP. Now again, the MSRP, the residual is always going to be based off of the MSRP. All right. So I actually did that wrong. 48,550. Let's put that back in there. So the MSRP, you never always make sure that stays the same. So if they're taking more money off, you take that off the final negotiated price. So this should be basically 62.90 that came off the car. I apologize if I confused you. Let me just do that one more time. So 48,550 minus 62.90. 48,550. 48,550 minus 62.90. That should give us the number that was in that box. 42,260. 42,260. So that is the 42.90 that you're putting down minus 2 grand. That's how you get that number. So don't change the MSRP. That was my mistake right there. So let's just calculate it. Everything should stay the same, though. So even with getting an additional 2 grand off the car, the down payment of 42.90, once you factor in tax and interest, the payment is going to be higher than the lease special, and that's what I'm trying to show you. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on this video. If you know anybody in the market on a lease, thinking about leasing, please tag them in this video. And again, Hold Back is available on Amazon, iTunes, Barnes and Noble. And please like and follow the page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's on all that. The handle is at holdback32, the number 3 and the number 2. All right. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this, and until next time.